Hello, Moonbeams, and welcome back. This is the Mystic Moon School, and I am Donna Cass, your astrology guide. This week we are here to discuss the Capricorn new moon, which is happening at 9 degrees. That 9-degree point I feel is significant, and of course I'll share with you why in just a few, but I want to welcome you back to the podcast. And my slides are going to be very simple and few today. I just want to put it out there that I am still running sales on all of my chart readings that I offer and my coaching sessions. So if you're interested, if you've been thinking about that and you're interested, hop on over to my website, mysticmoonschool.com, and you can kind of read through my descriptions of the different chart readings that I offer. It's really interesting because I have been doing so many solar return readings this month. And actually, most of the people, with the exception, I think, one, their birthdays have been like within the last 6 months. So really, there's no bad time to do a solar return reading. You can really do it at any point during your birthday year, and it really gives you an extremely current reading of the energies that you're working with this year from birthday to birthday. And it's just so empowering and so validating for whatever you may be going through, moving through, whatever your current challenges are. It really puts it into a perspective where you're like, oh, okay, this is in the chart. Like, it's not just in my head. I'm not a victim to this. I chose this challenge, and that is because I can rise to it. And for those of you who have had readings with me, I would love to hear if you could leave any little comment to encourage others who may feel the draw to do that, who have worked with me in any capacity. That would really help my channel so much. So with that being said, let's get into the episode. Okay, so we are looking at, let me switch my one slide here. So I'm saying this Capricorn new moon, we are building our new paths one yellow brick at a time. And if you've been on the channel listening for a little while, you have heard me refer to the yellow brick road, to finding our path home back to ourself. The Wizard of Oz is something, it is so special to me, and on a very, very personal level, and from things that took place from when I was a little girl. And maybe I'll share that story one day, but the archetypes and the symbols and the deep meaning, right, that story offers us really just resonates deeply for me. And I find myself being gravitating back towards those images a lot. And so I really felt so strongly that this Capricorn new moon is really, truly us building that yellow brick road, which I often compare to the North Node, our destined path ahead in this life. And at this Capricorn new moon, we are building a new foundation, and this is the first Capricorn new moon that we have had in almost 17 years without Pluto hanging out in the background. Okay, so that is significant for all of us. And I really feel that there has been a weight lifted. And especially this week, like, I would love to hear in the comments how this past week has been for you. I feel like a lot of us have released some really heavy burdens. Things seem to be opening up for us. Maybe we're in the flow more, and things are coming together easier. We're starting to have more clarity on maybe our next steps. Even if that just means, well, you know what, I had a session with Donna, or I had a therapy session and something came through where I never thought of it that way before. Remember, this is one brick at a time. We are not pouring out cement. Okay, we're not pouring out cement at this Capricorn new moon and just letting it guzzle into the street and smoothing it out all at once. And now we have a new path. No, no, no. This is one brick at a time. So we do need patience, right? But that is Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is slow and steady wins the race, right? It is the mountain goat trekking up the mountain one step at a time towards our goals, our ambitions, our new ascended selves. Up at the top of the mountain, our higher selves are waiting for us, saying, yep, keep going. I got you. You're on your path. Just keep going. So this is really, in my view, in my interpretation, an extremely empowered new moon. The 9 degrees, I feel, is also very significant. And I don't always talk about the degree points in this podcast, but I do talk about them when I feel that they are particularly significant. Now, I want to remind you that at the beginning of December, we had the new moon in Sagittarius on December 1st. And guess what? That was at 9 degrees. Now, the 9th degree is the Sagittarius degree. It is the degree of expansion and knowledge and spirituality. It encompasses everything that Sagittarius energy is. And so we had that beautiful new moon in Sagittarius that kicked off our month with optimistic, expansive energy, where we felt like, you know what, I'm going to end this year strong. I'm going to really show up for myself because I'm feeling that optimism. I'm feeling that expansiveness. And we are ending the month and the year with this same degree point. There are never any coincidences, right? We know this. And one of the reasons why I love astrology so much is when we begin to study and learn the language of astrology, there are messages and symbols and signs and guidance for us in every little bit of the symbols, the glyphs, the degrees, the aspects, just everything to guide us on our path. And so the more we learn astrology, the more we have, the more we have one of our angels guiding us. That's how I view it. And so this Capricorn new moon, we are expanding with that ninth degree. We are expanding more on that yellow brick road that each one of us has. And it is unique to you. Your yellow brick road looks nothing like anyone else's. It is like your natal chart. It is your signature. It is your blueprint for this life. And this yellow brick road that is the bricks are lighting up for us at this Capricorn new moon. Of course, it's a new moon, it's a new beginning. We're beginning Capricorn season. And, it's really interesting because at the one time we're closing out this year. It's a big ending of energies. But New Year's is right around the corner, just a few days later. And so there's this incredible new beginning energy. And then, of course, for a lot of us who also follow the wheel of the year, who follow the astrological calendar, we're going to have a real powerful new beginning at the spring or the Aries equinox, which is March 21st, I believe. And that's the beginning of the new astrological year. So At this Capricorn new moon, yes, we are feeling the new beginnings, the energy coming through with this new moon, beginning a new season, Capricorn. We are closing out the year 2024 and we're beginning 2025. And I am someone who I do not exclude, right? I am not exclusive in my beliefs, in my my perspectives. I am very inclusive because I feel that truly everything is here to teach us. There's no right or wrong. And so I'm not someone who's going to say, well, this January 1st New Year is not really the real New Year. That's not me. It is. It is absolutely the New Year. It is very real. The energies have a very potent shift for so many of us. And by the way, I will be doing this week a very special episode on the energies, the astrological energies of 2025. So keep a lookout for that because I think that's going to come out on January 1st, which is Wednesday of this week. And that will really give you an overview of some of the incredible changes that are happening in 2025 astrologically, like unprecedented, truly. And we are all going to be shifting, growing, expanding, and feeling these changes both within us and seeing them happen and unfold in our lives. And so the Capricorn new moon, laying down one yellow brick at a time and watching each one light up as we move forward. This is laying the foundation for 2025. It is significant. And there is a lot of other things happening at this new moon that I'd like to shift into now. And some of these energies, the Mars and the Pluto energies, have been working with us, okay, in the background for at least a month now, and are going to continue for the next couple of months because Mars is still retrograde. Now, at the end of January, Mars will shift into Cancer, and I will be doing a special episode on that because that's going to be a significant change. We're going to feel that. We are going to feel that change. But for now, Mars and Pluto, while they remain in opposition, they are simultaneously sextiling and trining the nodes of fate. And so what does that mean? Well, first of all, a sextile and a trine are the most supportive, harmonious aspects in the chart. And so this is encouraging. This is supportive energy. This is not challenging, tough energy where we're feeling really super uncomfortable or we're facing a real challenge in life and we have to take action because it's so freaking uncomfortable. That's not this energy. Sextiles, yes, they do get us to take action, but it's often because we feel energized and motivated. That's the difference. And trines are that beautiful flowing energy where things just come together for us. And so Mars and Pluto, while they are opposing one another in Leo, Mars in Leo, retrograding in Leo, and Pluto in Aquarius, this is the energy, this is the axis of self and community, right? Of leading with the heart and being able to detach and think clearly, right? This is the beautiful head and heart axis. It is the axis of leadership, but not leadership in a I'm the leader and everyone needs to follow me. It is the leadership that comes from the heart and recognizes that we all have the ability to lead in our own lives. And when we do that, we create a collective, Aquarius, of supportive, collaborative, innovative, and very equal communities where we can build together. This is the beautiful axis that Mars and Pluto are in and will be in for some time, and they are really supporting us because they are making those aspects to the nodes of fate. This is all, if you will, the backdrop to this new moon in Capricorn. It is extremely potent energy. It's working with the collective because of Pluto, but it's also working with us individually because of Mars, a personal planet. And I always say that Aquarius energy is us stepping into our true authentic selves, each one of us. And when we do that, we then shift the collective. Because the collective is made up of individuals, isn't it? The collective consciousness is made up of each of our own individual consciousness. And so consciousnesses, I don't think that's a word. I don't think that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. So we are really changing at a deep level, because remember, Pluto also goes down deep into the subconscious of the collective, will affect us each deeply in our own individual subconscious to unearth those fears, to unearth those limitations that we have possibly carried for lifetimes. And so if you are feeling this, if this week you've already been feeling the shifts, please leave me a comment in the comments below. I would love to hear how this is affecting you individually. And in true Aquarian energy, I really would love to create a community here on this YouTube channel. It's been one of my goals, and it's definitely one of my goals for 2025, is to really be a part of and create more opportunities for authentic community. You're safe here. You can share anything that is true for you, and always, of course, in kindness and compassion, right? So that's a huge bit of the background energies that are taking place. And I just also want to point out that this is pretty much exact sextile and trine, because the nodes are at 1 degree now. We are nearing the end of this 18-month period where the nodes have been in Libra and Aries. And just a reminder of what that axis is about. It's about the true self, Aries, advocating for oneself, right? Speaking your truth, finding your path, understanding who you are and what your needs are, not giving any of that away for another. And Libra, in its highest expressions, is that beautiful connection that you have with another, but it's reciprocal. It is fair and balanced. It is just at its core. And there is none of this codependency and giving away of ourselves for the other. It's no longer the dynamic of the empath and the narcissist. We have been uncovering this and shining the light on this, revealing these dynamics all this past year and a half. I mean, hello, let's raise our hand up high if we've been in a narcissistic dynamic with someone where we are the empath and we have seen the truth of our dynamic. I mean, it's been, I can't tell you how many people I have worked with in this dynamic who have been seeing the light on this in my own personal life. My ex-husband, my daughters, they have, in the last, I would say 3 years, and especially my younger one this year, came to the truth, the realization that this is also the dynamic that we have been living in for so long. And so this past 18 months has been a huge shift away from this narcissistic dynamic that so many of us have found ourselves in. And it is about coming into your true self, Aries, and no longer participating in that unhealthy dynamic. And so the nodes are at 1 degree. We are entering the final lap, if you will, of this axis. And we are going to be moving into the healing axis of Virgo and Pisces. And I am beyond excited for this. And I'm going to be doing a special episode for that. I've got quite a few in the queue here. And what the new axis of the nodes, Pisces and Virgo, means for you and for all of us in the collective, because the nodes work with the collective as well. So this is really significant background energy with Mars, Pluto, and the nodes, but there's more. Yes, there is. There's more. And for $9.99, you can get more. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's see. So Black Moon Lilith is significant, okay, at this new moon, because she is squaring the sun and the moon in Capricorn. And very closely, okay, she's at 6 degrees of Libra. She is very close to that south node, and she is squaring this new moon. And the square, as I mentioned before, is that very challenging energy where we have to take action now because we just can't take it anymore. We've reached our tolerance level. Now, I know many, many of you have been, I want to say in the past month, been working towards something in your life where you just cannot tolerate it anymore. And that is the Black Moon Lilith conjunct the South Node. It has been working with us because it's also been, remember, the South Node is trining Pluto. And Black Moon Lilith is very close to the South Node. So it's like she's beaming her energy as well, trining Pluto. Pluto is all about unearthing that which is not in integrity, that is not in truth, that is not for our highest evolution. And it will literally dig up the shit and make it so freaking stinky that we have to address it. We have to scoop the poop. Okay? I don't know why that just came through in that way, but it's real. I'm sure you can relate to that. So Black Moon Lilith, what is she about? Black Moon Lilith is about advocating for oneself in the fiercest way, where we would rather exile ourselves and be alone in a desert than sit at any table where those who are sitting there do not value us, do not see us as an equal, do not treat us with respect. Hell no. Black Moon Lilith, the mythology of Lilith, she is not having it. And that is her highest expression. Now, her shadow expression is sitting at that table and taking the disrespect and the being treated unequally, being treated less than, devalued. And not only that, in sitting at that table and eating all of that garbage, we are actually devaluing ourselves. So remember, I want to remind you that everyone is a mirror for us. It's important to recognize when others are not treating us the way we want to be and the way we deserve to be treated. But it's also very important to take accountability and say, well, why am I putting up with this? Because I don't value myself, because I don't respect myself. And that's where the shift happens. When we take accountability and we say, well, I'm the one putting up with it, so I need to sit with that and understand why. Why am I? What fears are keeping me sitting at this table? What lack of self-respect and self-value and worth is playing out within me that I would even sit at a table like this? And so that is where the shifts begin, when we take accountability and we start to heal that within us. Then we start to move into that Black Moon Lilith, rebellious, empowered energy, and we get up and we flip the table and we walk away. Now, that doesn't mean that walking away is like, completely empowered and not without its fears and the uncertainty and all the other things, but we're still walking away. Guess what? Guess what we're walking on? That yellow brick road, the North Node. The North Node is the yellow brick road in this life, calling you on your destined path forward. And so Black Moon Lilith and the South Node are both trining Pluto, that is ultimately here to evolve us and empower us, okay? That is the ultimate goal. And Black Moon Lilith and the South Node are also squaring this new moon. So Black Moon Lilith is getting up from the table because that's what the square is forcing us to do, and to throw down those bricks one at a time. We don't know where the path is leading necessarily. See, that's the thing with the North Node. All we need to know with that yellow brick road with the North Node is that it's leading us home to our true authentic self. That's all you need to know. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the uncertainty is part of the path. The uncertainty is part of the adventure. And the uncertainty is part of the lesson in faith, in trust. Trust your higher self, because he or she is already at the destination points, calling you forward. That is what this new moon is all about. It's a beckoning. It's an expansion, that 9-degree point. It's saying you're ready. Just trust. Just follow one brick at a time. You've got this. Now, there's another beautiful aspect that I feel I wanted to share, and that is Jupiter, which is in Gemini, and Saturn, that is in Pisces. Okay, so Jupiter in Gemini is expanding our communications, Gemini, the way we think, our beliefs, the way we communicate. And not only that, but I've been saying this since Jupiter moved into Gemini in May, that Jupiter is also expanding our psychic abilities, our psychic gifts, our clairs, our intuition. And Jupiter in Gemini is squaring Saturn in Pisces. Saturn, there's so much more to Saturn than many understand. And in this case, Saturn is breaking the boundaries in Pisces, in that we are expanding Jupiter into more of our higher selves, into being able to hear the guidance speaking through our intuition. That gut feeling, or that feeling in your chest, or just the tingles in your body, whatever it is for you. Saturn is from the ancients, it was the furthest out planet that we could see in the night sky with the eye, right? And so it represents the boundary. And so Saturn is this incredible mix of putting up boundaries and having structure, which, by the way, Saturn rules Capricorn. And so, yes, there is a structure and a foundation to Saturn. There is putting in the work, right? Being the bricklayer. Absolutely. But Saturn also will know when we've reached the edge and we need to break out of the structure and expand and go beyond that outermost boundary. And when Saturn is in Pisces, oh yeah. Now, Jupiter and Saturn are squaring one another in these energies of Gemini and Pisces, of connecting with our higher selves and our intuitive voice and tapping into our clairs. And Pisces, of course, in the highest expression, is connecting with the divine, right? That oneness and that deep sense of, and the feeling of unconditional love, compassion, and kindness. And so when these two planets are squaring one another, we are feeling that oneness. We are feeling more connected to the divine, our angels, our guides, and we're having more epiphanies and awakenings. And so this is all happening at this new moon in Capricorn also. So let me just look to my chart here. So we have Saturn in Pisces, and this square is happening like 1 degree. So Saturn's at 14 degrees and Jupiter's at 13 degrees. They're almost exactly squaring one another. And so this is really another very important background energy for all of us. So while all of this energy is playing out in our background, in our subconscious, coming from our higher selves, this is where we can drop into the faith and the trust in just laying one brick at a time. What do those bricks look like? Well, let's get into it in terms of based on your rising sign, what area of life this is going to be showing up for you. Where are you laying these yellow bricks in your life? And so I'm going to begin, as I usually do, with Aries. And let's see, we're going to begin Aries at 33. That's timestamps. Okay. So for Aries, this new moon in Capricorn, it's happening in your 10th house of career, of purpose. It's your most public self. Now, I always say that also because it's your status in the world. It's how you're recognized. It's because not everyone has a career out of the home, and so it does still apply to you even if you don't. And so what new bricks are lighting up for you at this new moon? Likely you already have an inkling, and you may not see the whole path ahead, but you know that there are changes afoot with your career, with your status in the world, right? And when I say in the world, I mean like not at home, but like who you are known as in your community, just out in the world. You know, sometimes this actually can be like your marital status, because you're known as, Mr. or Mrs. blah, 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 right? So sometimes it can play out that way. It could be definitely a career, right? Like, okay, well, I'm a teacher and that's how people know me. I'm a teacher. So just trust that whatever you've been feeling in your career or in your status in the world, in your world, whatever you feel is shifting beneath your feet, it's right on time. And you're laying a foundation for big changes that are going to be coming in 2025. Trust, and have faith, even if you don't know what all of those bricks look like right now. Just follow the call of what lights you up, right? That's what that yellow brick road is. As Dorothy takes the steps, each brick lights up so beautifully, guiding her forward. And that is your higher self guiding you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful energy. So now we're going to move to Taurus rising. And for Taurus rising, this is happening, this new moon in Capricorn is happening in your 9th house. So again, the 9th degree. Also, when I think of the tarot, I think of the 9 of Cups, and that is wish fulfillment. So for my Taurus risings, this is incredible expansion for you in your beliefs, in your spiritual beliefs, if you're religious, in your religious beliefs, in your philosophies on life, how you see the world. And you as a person are expanding because of this. You know, you may be really called to start a new course of learning, because that is also 9th house, and this will expand you. So if you've been considering something, a program, a degree, a class, and it could be anything that's calling to you, go for it. Take that next step on the yellow brick road. It's going to expand you, and it's going to turn into more of those bricks, laying out your own yellow brick road in 2025. Okay? So beautiful. I would love to hear if you've been thinking about something, taking a class or something, learning more about something that's been calling to you. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Okay, now for my Gemini risings, we have this new moon in Capricorn is happening in your 8th house. Profound. The 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. Sometimes this is a physical death, yes. I have to say it. You know, we are humans. We are living a mortal life, and the 8th house does represent the ending of a life. And if that is happening in your world, please know that I'm sending you so much love. And this is part of our experience. I know that is hardly comforting, but you are not alone. And you will, if you are losing someone at this time, sit with that and be in your grief, and remember that grief is the other side of love. And love yourself through all that you are feeling. I have to share with you all, actually, that as I am recording this podcast today, a very dear friend since I was 13 years old, she is transitioning as I speak. And I say she is transitioning because it has been a long process. It's been a year that we've been with her on this journey. And she is in the process of transitioning. Everything is beginning to shut down within her body. And I have to hold that in reverence, and I have to honor her soul's choice and her soul's path. And at the same time, I also feel all of the grief. So for my Gemini risings, if you are experiencing something similar, please know that from my heart to yours, you are not alone, and I'm just sending you so much love. So that being said, though, the 8th house is powerful and profound because it is also a metaphorical death and rebirth. And so for the Gemini risings out there listening, you are going through some sort of profound evolution of yourself. And you are laying the yellow bricks one brick at a time at this new moon. You may be called to learning more about astrology and going deeper with it. You may be called to tarot or human design, psychology, anything that wants to get deeper and deeper to the why. That is a word for, that's a key word for the 8th house, because we want to understand the meaning of it all, right? And so whatever is calling to you at this new moon in Capricorn, go with it. Let what needs to fall away, release, walk away. The Eight of Cups in the tarot is walking away from what you've outgrown, and you're walking towards the 9th cup, your wish fulfillment. That is what this yellow brick road is guiding you towards. Okay, so now for my Cancer rising, this Capricorn new moon, right? Because Capricorn is your sister sign. This is happening in your 7th house. It's happening in your 7th house of one-to-one relationships, marriage. It could, but it's really truly any one-to-one relationship. So that could be a friendship, that could be a work relationship, a business partnership. And so this is very potent energy for you on a very personal level. Now, not everybody out there is married, and so this may not apply to a marriage situation. But this new moon in Capricorn, you are laying a new foundation, a new path forward for yourself in your most significant one-to-one relationships. Now, let me be clear about this. This could very much be because you're in the process of ending a marriage or ending a relationship. And if that is the case, please know that this yellow brick road is there. It's freaking all lit up for you. So just trust. Take those baby steps one at a time and follow your own yellow brick road. Because you are building a new foundation for yourself going forward. And this will expand immensely in this next year, 2025, for you. If you are not in the process of ending a relationship or a marriage, and you're not even in a relationship, you are still building that new path ahead in how you relate to others on a very one-to-one, in a one-to-one dynamic. It could be playing out in a business partnership, in a work partnership. It could be playing out with a friendship, certainly. Any significant one-to-one relationship. And if you do not see this showing up in any person in your life, then this is about you and seeing how you show up in dynamics with one-to-one, right? With another person, and you're building a new path for yourself moving forward. Okay, so now we're going to move to Leo rising. And for Leo rising, this Capricorn new moon is happening in your 6th house of everyday work, everyday routines, everyday rituals, your pets, your healing journey. Now, you remember at the beginning of the episode, I said we will be moving into the axis of the nodes, or moving into the axis of Pisces and Virgo, which is the healing axis. And so I really feel that this Capricorn new moon is significant for the Leo risings, because this is a real starting point for you to lay down a strong foundation, just one brick at a time, on your healing journey. Now, this could be physical healing, healing your physical body, getting stronger, starting a new exercise program, eating better, doing breath work, meditation, yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, like running, walking, anything physically that is moving you one brick at a time towards a healthier body, because that is Virgo. It could be healing your gut. It could be trusting your gut, your intuition. This is really significant for you, Leo risings, because as the nodes of fate move into Pisces and Virgo, this is going to be happening in your 6th house and your 12th house, okay? So this is just the beginning for you, this new moon. And you are going to build this yellow brick road over the next 18 months in becoming a healthier you, both mind and body. It's going to be that working with that axis with you both, your mind, body, spirit, right? And so this new moon, you know, you're really going to make that choice and say, you know what? I'm feeling the call. I want to clean up my diet. I want to start a walking club and have other people to walk with, you know, several times a week. Whatever it is for you, you go with that. But it's going to be very healing for you. Just take it one step at a time, one brick at a time. Beautiful energy for you. And it will expand over the next year and a half. Okay, so same with my Virgo risings. And Virgo rising, this energy, this Capricorn new moon is happening in your 5th house. Your 5th house of creativity, of children, of your inner child, of romance, pleasure, fun. And so for Virgo rising, you know, you are laying the bricks to seeing yourself as a creative being if you don't already. And opening up the creative pathways within you. Where, I would ask you now, my Virgo risings, do you see yourself as a creative person? Because the truth is we are all creative. Every single one of us. We are creator beings. And that doesn't mean that you have to be an artist or a musician or scrapbook or craft or any of that. Maybe you're creative in your work. Maybe you're creative in just the way you think and you find solutions, right? You create new pathways. You're innovative. You think out of the box in certain areas of your life. You like to switch up the furniture in where you live, right? You like to move the energy. You like to just think of new activities and experiences. This is all creative energy. We are spiritual divine beings living a human life. Let us not forget that we have that creativity, that creator energy within all of us. And so at this new moon in Capricorn, you're really laying the foundations for a more creative life and seeing yourself as a creative being. This may very well play out if you have children. This energy may be that you're seeing a new path forward for your children, helping them, guiding them on their path forward. And this is going to extend into 2025. This could be incredible healing for your inner child at this new moon in Capricorn. And this will also continue into the new year. Perhaps there is a new romance that you are just beginning to lay the foundation with at this new moon in Cap. Beautiful energy in the 5th house for you, and I would love to hear how this may be playing out for you. Now we're going to move to our Libra rising, and for Libra rising, this Capricorn new moon is happening in your 4th house of home. Of home. Yes, it is your physical home wherever you live, but it is your home within yourself. And so this really truly is your You are embodying Dorothy at the end of the movie, and you are coming home to self. Such beautiful energy. And the reason, right, why this is so powerful for Libra risings is because of what I was saying earlier about we are at the end of the South Node in your sign. For the last 18 months, you've been working on this. You've been working on coming home to yourself and stop the overgiving towards others. Stop the codependency where you need that validation and that connection with another so you feel whole. You've been working so hard on this. You've been working on yourself at such deep levels, coming home to yourself, your needs, what you need in relationships, and how you've been learning how you can give it to yourself first. And so this new moon in Capricorn, in your fourth house, Libra, this is you really solidifying those bricks, that foundation, that path forward, home to yourself. And so that might mean that you're ending a relationship now, that you are walking away truly, that you are walking with, that you're ending a dynamic with someone. If that resonates for you, take it. If it doesn't, it just simply means that there is deep internal energy of you coming home to yourself, honoring yourself, and laying a new foundation. That Capricorn structure, that Capricorn road ahead, brick by brick. And you will be entering into a magnificent healing journey in the year and the year and a half ahead. And also, Libra, this could very well be playing out very literally in your home space. Maybe you're going to be moving house. Maybe you're going to be renovating your home or redecorating or just clearing the energy, right, of old stagnant energy where you live, and laying the new bricks of the new energy of who you are now in your home space. So however this plays out, it is beautiful, beautiful energy for you, Libra rising. For Scorpio rising, this new moon in Capricorn is happening in your third house of communication, of the way that you think, of your learning as well. And so you may be really building a solid foundation in learning, and I would even say teaching, because it's the third ninth axis of learning, teaching, expansion, communication, your thoughts, how you communicate what you're thinking, right? And that could be verbally, but it could also be in writing. It could also be through your psychic gifts. And so this Capricorn new moon is really laying a foundation for how you communicate in the world, what you need to say. In other words, speaking your truth, Scorpio, right? This Capricorn new moon is, again, it is laying a strong, we're talking about bricks here, right? When we think about the three little pigs, the brick house was the only one that wasn't getting blown over by the wolf, right? We're laying a brick road. This is a foundation for you, Scorpio, where you are really letting go of those fears. I'm a Scorpio rising, so this is happening. This new moon is happening in my third house. And I've already been really seeing and working on releasing a lot of fears so that my road ahead is golden, right? It's lighting up before me, and I can see it lighting up because the fear is no longer holding me back and clouding my vision. And so that is a big part of this energy for us as Scorpio risings. And we may communicate that out to others because that's third house. If this is playing out for you, Scorpios, that you are embarking on a new learning journey, Maybe you're taking a new class, a new course. This is foundational for you. And this is going to change how you think. It's really beautiful, powerful energy. Okay, Sagittarius rising. This new moon in Cap is happening in your second house. This is so amazing for Sagittarius risings. You are building a new foundational road of your self-worth, of your self-value. And if you have a job where you work every day, it's going to translate to that as well. You are no longer going to be staying in a place that does not value you if that's been your experience. You may not know what the next step is, but trust. Your higher self is calling you ahead on that yellow brick road. You're laying the bricks one by one, that Capricorn strong foundation, and it is beckoning you towards this new sense of self where you know your value. You know your worth. You know what you're worthy of. And when you make that shift within you, then everything in your outside world, in your external world, has to then line up to match that. And sometimes that means other things need to fall away and end. So because you have this new blossoming foundation of self-worth and self-value, and you're laying this yellow brick road in Capricorn for yourself, this is going to shift how you make money in the world. If you have a job, you may be getting a promotion. If you are in a place that values you already. If not, then you're going to be aligning with somewhere new that does. So trust in that process. Follow the bricks as they begin to light up for you. Now for our Capricorns, for our Capricorn rising, this is happening in your first house. This is all about you, a magnificent new beginning, your sense of self, who you are in this life. This is the foundational path that you are laying now, one brick at a time at this new moon, and you are going to be following it in the year ahead. 2025 is going to be a new you. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, am I even the same person? And the answer will be no. You are a new version of yourself. You have been putting in the work for the last 17 years. Pluto has been in your sign. You have excavated and you have worked with the fears and you have overcome the anything, limiting beliefs, addictions, tendencies that kept you in fear and kept you small. You have been evolving your sense of self these last 16, 17 years, and now you have a clean slate. This is the new you emerging. This is your yellow brick road lighting up so brightly for you. This is such beautiful energy for you. I hope that you feel the lightness, that you feel that you've put down a really heavy backpack filled with rocks. You've put it down and you feel lighter. You feel like you could just float down this yellow brick road. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that there won't be obstacles. That's just life. But there's a new you now. And so you're going to approach them differently. And this new you is evolving one brick at a time. And so I am just so excited for the Capricorns, both the suns and the rising. This is still extremely significant for the sun signs out there. Beautiful energy for you. Now, for Aquarius rising, this energy is happening at a deep subconscious level for you because the Capricorn new moon is in your 12th house. And so this is working with you at a very deep level. Aquarius risings, Aquarius sun signs, you are, and you have been since Pluto has moved into your sign, you are really changing at a deep, deep subconscious level, your whole being. And this, excuse me, this Capricorn new moon is a real shift for you because, excuse me, Pluto has been in your 12th house for the last 20 years, excavating, working with you at a deep subconscious level, awakening you, releasing old karmic patterns. And so as Pluto has moved into your first house, and now this Capricorn new moon is happening in your 12th house, you are laying a new foundation at a deep subconscious level for your path forward. The 12th house is one of the karmic houses, and so you've been releasing old patterns from past lives even. You've been releasing the fears. You've been releasing those deep unhealthy patterns, the patterns that have kept you stuck and limited. You've been working on releasing those, seeing them for what they are, and slowly walking away and ending those patterns. And so now the Capricorn new moon with this yellow brick road in your 12th house is now laying a new healthy pattern for you because it's guided by your higher self. And so I encourage my Aquarius risings and Aquarius sun signs to meditate at this Capricorn new moon. Connect with your higher self. Envision that yellow brick road. Where is it guiding you? Ask your guides. Ask your higher self, where is this new moon guiding me next on my path ahead? Set that intention for your meditation, for your journaling, for shower meditation, right? Go into the shower, ask the water, speak to the water and say, please share your wisdom with me. And be open at this new moon to those new paths ahead becoming clearer for you on a deeper level. It's going to be coming up from your subconscious. So trust that. Beautiful energy. And finally, for our Pisces rising sign, this Capricorn new moon is happening in your 11th house. This is so beautiful for you. This is your house of hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future. Hello. This is the yellow brick road unfolding in the house that houses your yellow brick road, right? And so doing a vision board for yourself for the year ahead will be so powerful for you. Writing in a journal, like doing some recap on 2024 and what you were able to experience and accomplish and what you've learned, and then what you want to experience and accomplish and learn in 2025. Sit down, have some beautiful solitary time for yourself to kind of vision the year ahead at this Capricorn new moon, what this yellow brick road is looking like for you at this new moon, and then for the year ahead, 2025. And this also is really laying foundations for new friendships, new communities and groups that are aligning with who you are now, your energy now, who you are evolving into. So open up to being part of new communities that are like energy, new friendships that are like energy. And you will see this magnificently unfolding for you in 2025. So I'm not sure if that cut out or not. So I just want to repeat myself for my Pisces rising, that the 11th house is not only your hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future, right? And so doing a vision board, writing in your journal, reflecting on the year that you are releasing and the new year ahead and what you want to accomplish, what you want to feel and experience. Maybe your word, if you do that, if you have a word for the year ahead, or maybe words, maybe that will come to you at this new moon. Doing a vision board for 2025 could be extremely powerful for you at this new moon. And also opening up to the new groups and communities and friendships that are of like energy to who you are now. That's all going to open up for you in 2025. It's going to be beautiful. And so you can set that intention now at this new moon. It's just such beautiful golden energy for my Pisces rising at this Capricorn new moon. Okay, so that really wraps up this podcast. I would really love to hear anything that you would love to share with this community, with me. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, for sharing this podcast with anyone who you feel could be supported and empowered by it. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, peaceful end to this new year. And look out for my 2025 astrology podcast. I believe that's going to air on New Year's Day, which is Wednesday of this coming week, January 1st, 2025. And I look forward to connecting with you all again soon in the next video. Peace and love to you. I'll see you soon under the moon. Bye-bye for now.